You know what time it is.
It's Monday, make money. 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 It's Monday, make money.
It's Make Money Mondays with Sean V. Bradley.
Hey everybody, it's Sean V. Bradley, CEO of Dealer Synergy, and you know what time it is. What time is it? It's Make Money Mondays. What time is it? I said it is Make Money Mondays, people. Let's make that money. Now, I've got a special, awesome idea I want to share with you today. I've personally done this myself, and it worked superbly. And I've also recommended this to countless dealerships, and when they do it, it works superbly too. Now, this might sound a little bit like a little extra crazy, but you know what? Sometimes you got to get a little crazy to make that money. All right, so let's just say this scenario pops up. You're talking to an internet prospect or even a phone up for that matter, and you have a great report, blah, 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 blah. You're going through your word tracks, your process, and you go to close the appointment. Mr. Customer, when's the best time for you to come into the dealership this afternoon or this evening? And they're like, Sean, I would love to come in, and I'm probably going to come in, but first I want to go to the Chevy dealership. Sidebar, you're the Ford dealership, right? So you're having this conversation, you had a great rapport with them, you go to set the appointment, and they turn around and they curb you. They're like, Sean, I can't wait to come see your Ford, but first I want to go to the Chevy dealership around the corner from my house. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to handle this. I'm gonna repeat that. A lot of people don't know how to handle this, and they're like, and they try to get the person in there. Here's the proper way that I suggest that you do this without skipping a beat. So let's go back to it. Mr. Customer, when's the best time for you to come in the afternoon or evening? Sean, I love you, and you're awesome, and I can't wait to see the Ford, but I need to go see the Chevy first before I come in. Without skipping a beat, watch. Mr. Customer, not a problem. What about that Chevy would you like me to provide information on? Or what information on that Chevy would you like me to provide for you? Now, what they might turn around and say is a couple of different things. Oh, you sell Chevys? And I would turn around and without skipping a beat say, absolutely, we sell pre-owned Chevys, but we're a new car Ford dealership franchise. But regardless, we're able to provide you whatever information that you need on that Chevy product. Now, this is the first part. People are usually surprised, but how are you going to know if you're not a Chevy dealer? Information. It's called Google. It's called GM.com or Chevrolet.com. Do you really think OnStar, those people know exactly what, the florist phone number is, what movies are playing? No, they could Google it in OnStar. Same thing for you. You don't need to know everything. You need to know where to get the information from. So again, it's about confidence and being able to provide that information like this. Because look at this. If somebody's trying to decide between a Ford and a Chevy, do you want them to go to the Chevy dealership to figure out if Chevy's the right thing? Hell no. As the Ford dealer, you want to give the Chevy information. Why? Because it's going to be slanted. It'll be true, but you're only going to focus on the stuff that is relevant for Ford's supremacy. Here's another thing. There's different softwares out there, comparison tools. Okay, you could Google this and your dealership might even have one. There's comparator tools. Now there's purely third-party comparator tools, like maybe like on an Edmunds or something like that, that's very neutral, that you could compare two vehicles. It could be like a Ford F-150 and a Chevy Silverado. There's some comparative tools that might be Ford F-150, Chevy Silverado, and a Ram 1500 side by side, and you're able to see, the good, the bad, and ugly, on each category, so like fuel efficiency, let's say safety ratings, speed, acceleration, weight, whatever it is. You could see all the specs, and you see the good, the bad, the ugly, who's better in each category. However, there are comparator tools from certain vendors that dealers could buy as APIs, widgets to their website, which I could give you a million of them, it's not a big deal. Or certain manufacturers have these as well. And the ones that are from the manufacturer or for the dealership's websites, they are 100% true, but they only focus on your product's supremacy. They only focus on what's better about your products than what is for the competition. So for example, if you're comparing the F-150 with the Silverado, it's all going to show the features that the F-150 has and is better than the Silverado, which is obviously in your best interest. So usually by being able to have instantaneous information, you're able to keep that person engaged and basically try to set the appointment. Again, it's not a silver bullet, but by giving that information, you might be able to say, okay, now that I provide the information for you, when's the best time for you to come in? Now I'm going to give you a powerful word track for the worst case scenario. So if that prospect turns around and says, that's great, Sean, thank you so much for all the information on the Chevy, but I really need to go and drive it. Here's exactly what you say. Not a problem, Mr. Customer. Here's what I suggest though. Let's schedule an appointment for you to come in today. When you come in, I will be able to show you everything on our Ford, and I will show you why our Ford is 100% by far the better choice for you. And I'm so confident, listen to this, Mr. Customer, here's what I propose. After I've done a quick walk around presentation, showed you all the benefits and all the details on our Ford, let's get in our Ford for a test drive to the Chevy dealership. That's right. You want a side-by-side comparison? How about this? How we put up my Ford F-150 right next to the Chevy Silverado. I am so positive that my Ford F-150 is the superior vehicle. Matter of fact, that's the reason why the Ford F-150 has been the #1 selling truck for the last 38 straight years. Matter of fact, no. Even better than it. That's why the Ford F-150 has been the #1 selling vehicle of all vehicles, period. Any make, any manufacturer, period. There's more Ford F-150 sold than any other manufacturer's independent model lineup. So now, Mr. Customer, you gotta take me up on my offer. I mean, have you ever heard of a car salesman or a dealership offering to bring you to the footsteps of the competition? I gotta know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, when's the best time for you to come in the afternoon or evening? Stop narrative. So think about that. Now, obviously this is a training video, so I'm kind of freestyling it and I'm ad-libbing it, but the concept is this. Don't be afraid of your competition, okay? First one. Second thing is you can't lose something you never had. I'm gonna repeat that. You can't lose something you never had. Don't be scared to offer a prospect the ability that you'll go to the dealership and do a side-by-side comparison. Now, for the record, don't misconstrue this. This is my disclaimer. Disclaimer, put a disclaimer video guy, right? Disclaimer right there, the little graphic, right? Here's my disclaimer. I want to make sure that you are not going to just say this to everybody. This is not something that you offer to everybody. Yeah, let's go. We're going to drive you to our competition. No, this is for the only circumstance that if you're talking to somebody and you try to set the appointment or you're trying to bring them in, or you try to sell them a car, and they said, I'm not coming in, I can't come in until I go to ABC Motors, the competing brand. You only use that as a last resort because what I'm trying to do is give them a shutdown thing to come to us. Now, some people might come to us because it makes perfect sense. Wow, okay, I could go to the Ford dealership and I could turn around and get a full presentation of this and I'll take a test drive in the Ford to the Chevy dealership side by side. What? That's the perfect way for me to help me narrow down and figure out which car I want to buy. That's one person. Another person might turn around and say, ooh, I can't wait to see the bodies in the accident. Certain people might just come to the dealership because they can't believe that you're willing to do that, that you're willing to turn around and bring the Ford to a Chevy dealership. They want to see sparks fly. They want to see it go down. UFC style, the people's elbow, whatever, right? So again, think about it. I don't care why they want to come in, but using that track might get them into your dealership. Yo, I'm telling you, I've done this before, and here's what happens. Most of the time, that when people come in, they never make it to the other dealership. They love the experience from the store and they get spotted in the car. Boom, you don't have to go. And the very few times that you turn around and you actually go to the dealership, here's what happens. A couple times, either A, you know what I mean, that the other dealership is like, get out of here, don't come here, because they see that you're coming from the competing dealership and they're stupid because then you drive away and you bring them back to your store and you spot them on the Ford. Duh. Or worst case scenario is best case scenario. Let's just say that they want the other dealership doesn't blow them off, and then you go and do the side by side. It's going to be probably the available salesperson. You're not going to send just the regular salesperson by himself. You might send the GSM or whoever the best Ford product specialist. You're going to go to a knife fight with a bazooka. You know what I mean? And you're going to be prepared. They're not going to be prepared. They're going to react out of nowhere. So you have the competitive edge. Either way, you win. And check this out. Worst case scenario is somebody winds up deciding they want the Chevy. Guess what? They could have done that anyway. You can't lose something you never had. At least you got them to your store. At least you took the shot. That's what it's about. Go make that money, people. Let's go. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Make Money Mondays. If you liked it, you're gonna love Bradley On Demand. Bradley On Demand is the most advanced virtual training, tracking, testing, and certification platform. What does that mean? It's an online university. And if you like this information here, we have hundreds and hundreds of advanced videos, step by step, on how to help you sell more cars more often and more profitably, so sign up now.